I'm talking about neuroplasticity. I mean, your brain is rewiring itself naturally all the time. What does that have to do with bouncing back or being able to respond with resilience to the slings and arrows of life? But the thing is that whenever challenges happen, whenever we experience setbacks, there's going to be a shift in the way that we think the world works, and that's very stressful. And stress, whether it's anger, guilt, sadness, or shame, prolonged marital stress is associated with short-lived responses to positive stimuli. So in other words, if you get beat down for too long, you start to believe that losing is the only way. Even when something really good does happen, a person will still feel down about it. Now I want to show you this bottom line here in this publication. Marital stress is associated with a higher incidence of psychiatric disorders, in particular major depression. And the next sentence follows up with, one pathway through which marital stress may impact emotional health is by compromising emotion responding processes. So the way that you respond to emotions is most likely being compromised as a result of being under so much stress. And so, like I was saying, if you get a beat down for too long, you start to believe that losing is the only way. And then even when you do get a win, it can still feel like almost nothing. And that small win feeling is fleeting. And then you're back on that old track of stress emotions. Again, just runs another circuit on that path. Like we need more practice to feel stress. No. So how to get off that track and onto something different that could help you naturally? Because ultimately, if you think about too much negative stuff, you can forget that there is any type of positive. So to get off of woe mode, and I know it's a dark spot, I know that it's not a fun thing, but I want to share you something about Richie Davidson. Now, Richie Davidson is one of the big scientists on this, and when it comes to an expert or an authority on neuroplasticity and resilience, well, the biggest rock star in the world is Richie Davidson. He's been to Harvard. He's published books. He's had his scientific research papers published. He's been in the movies. He's had articles published in the Huffington Post. He's been written about in Wall Street Journal. He's done summits with the Dalai Lama. So here's what Richie Davidson said. Circuits in the brain can be shaped through experience and training. So in other words, if you've been feeling stressed out from the challenges and the adversity of life that comes from experiencing a breakup and going through a divorce and all these kinds of challenges that life can impact upon us, circuits in the brain can be shaped through experience and training. In other words, you can train your brain to have it experiencing better emotions again and gain relief. And this is without medication. This is by just using your brain's ability to rewire itself, using your mind to change your brain. Now I want to share with you a big takeaway from the studies that Richie Davidson has done, and that's this. If you're going to bounce back, if you're looking for one big secret sauce, one huge lever or a button that you could press, it would be hooked up to this, a purpose in life, because purpose in life predicts better emotional recovery from negative stimuli. So if you've had an emotional beatdown in the aftermath of a breakup, and it's been a long time, maybe too long, you should have kind of got over it by now, and you want to recover and bounce back, well, life purpose is a must-have tool in your dashboard in life. Now, if you want to read about this study, you can. Purpose in life predicts better emotional recovery from negative stimuli. And again, the scientist on this one is also Richie Davidson. And I want to share with you an additional study that was done by him. And this was done with American male veterans of the Iraq or Afghanistan war. And it shows here breathing-based meditation decreases post-traumatic stress in U.S. military veterans. So just by breathing and thinking differently, you can actually change the wiring in your brain. You can reduce the stress. I want to share one other quote by Richie. It is clear that the intentional deployment of specific mental training strategies can induce plastic changes in the brain which endure and which can transform our cognitive and emotional styles. So yes, there's strategies you can use to change the way you think and feel. Now, before I end this video, I just want to share with you one question, and that's this. What would you be excited to be learning every day for the rest of your life? And the reason I'm asking you that is this. I want you to bounce back better, stronger, and smarter. And I want you to really ignite and spark and become fascinated with the idea immediately as to what you can be learning every single day for life so that you can become curiously compelled to discover more about how the value of you is increasing. Now, not just you now, because you're probably not feeling all that great, especially under all that stress that you've been going under. But I'm asking you about what you would be excited to be learning every day, because that's linked to your life purpose. That's what your life purpose is. And if you have that going on, well, that's the huge component for being able to bounce back. Remember, purpose in life predicts better emotional recovery. So if you can think about what you'd be excited to be learning every day, then you're creating your life purpose. And then when you answer those questions, you'll be able to have a much smoother time and easier transition, being able to rebuild yourself and bounce back. I look forward to sharing more with you in the upcoming videos, especially with the ones about memory reconsolidation and glial cells.